Fans, your umpires for tonight's game. At home plate, Brian DeBauer. At first base, Jason Bradley. At second base, Christopher Tipton. And at third base, Adam Clark.
It's not enough. Few solid left, but it's not enough. Few that'll reach that, but it's not enough. You bigger than myself, but it's not enough. I get on it. Yeah, somebody gotta do it. I'm in. Yeah, somebody gotta do it. I take a G pass. Watch him do it. We survived outside, all from the music. What? It's not enough. Few solid left, but it's not enough. Few that'll reach that, but it's not enough. Say you bigger than myself, but it's not enough. I get on it. Yeah, somebody gotta do it. I'm in. Yeah, somebody gotta do it. I take a G pass. Watch do it. Yeah, I did that. Hey, what's up, though? It's not enough. Few solid left, but it's not enough. Few that'll reach that, but it's not enough. Say you bigger than myself, but it's not enough.
Welcome into the Jacks College Baseball Classic, our second game of the day from VyStar Ballpark, home of the Jacksonville Jumbo Shrimp. We've got a jumbo matchup, ACC versus SEC, the Wolfpack of NC State and the Crimson Tide of Alabama. Well, welcome to you here at VyStar Ballpark. He's Jack DeLongchamp. I'm Darren Vaught. Jack, this is coming into the weekend here at the Jacks Classic, the marquee matchup. The number 12 Wolfpack of NC State against the lone SEC team here, the Crimson Tide of Bama, who are looking to go 2-0 on the weekend.
Yeah, Darren, this is just like Omaha a season ago. SEC versus ACC, all college baseball fans. Eyes on this tournament. Both teams tonight looking ready to bring the boom.
Justin DiCrisio, as we move on to the NC State lineup, brought the boom. He'll come up second in the top of the first inning. 3-run home run for him yesterday. Some shuffling in the lineup. Drew Lanphier in as the catcher in place of Alex Sosa, who's the DH for the Wolfpack today.
Yeah, Sosa getting the day off from behind the dish. He slides down in a little bit of that lineup. He was the young freshman just a year ago with so much lofty expectations. I like moving down in the lineup. He doesn't have to be Makarevich or Pennington. He just needs to be his own dude. But everyone's trying to be like DiCrisio, who might be the hottest hitter on planet Earth this week.
They will see the gifted right-hander for the Crimson Tide, Riley Quick, that big 6'6" frame. Off to a pretty good start this season. Will make his second start.
All kidding aside, I'm not going to use the pun more than once, I swear, but with such a big body, he really does like to work in a quick-paced game. He likes to go fast tempo. He's just as comfortable out of the stretch as he is the full windup. It's a great 3 to 4 pitch mix. It's a big body and a really reliable dude for Coach Vaughn on Saturdays.
Brian DeBauer behind the plate for this one. Jason Bradley, Chris Tipton, Adam Clark, our umpires for the proceedings. As we get started, about 45 minutes behind the original schedule because of the extra inning game prior to this one. Luke Nixon, the leadoff batter. Quick. It's a foul ball and gets an 0-1.
Nixon did a great job of working counts yesterday, seeing a ton of pitches, looking for a little bit more productivity, getting that guy on base today.
How often do you have a guy in a singular game see 30-plus pitches? Now a 1-1. Goals, 1 strike to Luke Nixon. NC State upset yesterday by Ohio State. Looking to bounce back and get a win.
Gotta imagine that it was an animated conversation from their legendary head coach Elliot A. Van, upset But the way that his team came to the ballpark, well prepared, but sometimes the ball just doesn't go your way.
Fouled back, a full count to the first batter of the evening. So with the win from Coastal Carolina earlier today, we got a couple of 1-1 teams going into tomorrow. We'll see another full count pitch here to Luke Nixon. Bama looking to extend its season-beginning win streak to 7. That would make them 2-0 on the weekend, but an NC State win would put everyone even going into tomorrow's final day. Nixon picking up right where he left off yesterday. He's about to see an 8th pitch to open the game.
So NC State trying to force everyone in the Jacks Classic to advance to 1-1, create a bit of chaos. But Luke Nixon goes, "You want some chaos? I'm that old school leadoff hitter. Gonna make Riley Quirk work for everything he earns this afternoon."
Again with a full count. Nixon left side of the infield. And a strong throw over by Justin LeBron. They had shifted so that third baseman Jason Torres was on the right side of the second base bag. So LeBron was the only one on that side.
Justin LeBron, who we raved about all weekend long. Bronny, as his teammates call him. He's just got the it factor, doesn't he?
Feels like he's going to be a big leaguer for a long time.
Like how you said there, like Ron Burgundy with the question mark at the with them teleprompter, like, yeah, guys, we're all in agreement, right? Like, are you watching this? We all seeing the same thing?
DeCrisio scorches it, but right to LeBron, who goes down to his shoelaces.
I told you, don't hit it to that guy. And this is what DeCrisio has done, not only this weekend, but all season long, is just rake. Down 4 barrels yesterday afternoon in a loss, but this is just another one scorched. LeBron doesn't even have to move.
2 away, Josh Hogue, the batter. Sword action, 0-1. Misses low and in. If Riley Quick is going to get hit, at least the early indicators this season are, it's going to be on the fastball, which is topped out at not quite 98 miles per hour already in this. Is
that pretty good?
Speedy. Swing and a miss. Hope's got 1 and 2.
Isn't that insane? To your point, like the numbers don't lie, right? Sometimes it gets a little bit overzealous with that heater, but we live in a college baseball world where like 98, like guys can go ambush that if it doesn't have a certain amount of movement.
Hope lays off 2 and 2. Yeah, it's a different world where you can't just throw 98 and that's good enough. You got to throw 98 with some finesse, and that's how you get guys out. Otherwise, players can hit it. 2-2. Called strike 3. Hogue goes down on strikes. It's a 3-up, 3-down. Top of the first inning for Riley Quick. The Bama Bats due up next.
They say I walk like a king, talk like a king. You can act around now, say the same thing. They chasing the fame, they all want the name. But they ain't got what's running through these veins. Make way for the king. Yeah. Look at me now, you can't hold me down. So give me the crown. Say I walk like a king, talk like a king. You can act around now, say the same thing. They chasing the fame, they all want the name. But they ain't got what's running
The Jacks College Baseball Classic is presented by Peak Events, home of the best outside of Omaha. Follow at Peak DOT Events on social media to keep up with the best in early season college baseball. First crack at the bat for Alabama. Bryce Fowler, Justin LeBron, Coleman Mizell due up. This is a formidable bunch, capable of putting up a lot of runs on the board.
I think what's key too, Ben, is that they do it in a plethora of ways, right? They want to beat you with the long ball. They got the likes of Justin LeBron and Jason Torres. It's that bottom half of the lineup that provided to be really efficient when it concerns the OBP, and that's what Heath Andrews is going to have to worry about today. How do you limit damage on the baseball?
Andrews, a sophomore for the Wolfpack, making his second start of the season. He threw 5 one-hit innings in his first start, gave up 2 runs, one of which was earned, 5 strikeouts and 3 walks. First pitch swing from Alabama's leadoff player as well. Bryce Fowler can't connect. Just like Luke Nixon on the other side for NC State went after the first thing he saw. Scoots out of the way. 2 balls and 1 strike to Fowler.
Fowler's been the ultimate table setter for LeBron and Mizell, hitting behind him. OBP of 548.
On the ground, Nixon's way. And the toss to McHugh at first. Gets the first out.
Word from Andrews so far. I see that fastball from 91 to about 93. Loves that slider. That's his secondary. Really a strikeout pitch as well. He'll mix in a changeup too. Try to keep Alabama off balance, but expect a big, heavy dosage of the fastball slider. Throws each pitch in every count.
First time at the plate for Justin LeBron, and he watches a first pitch strike. LeBron flies it up into right field. Hogue there for the catch.
I like the approach of your Andrews, right? Like last night in that game against Coastal Carolina, both teams issuing far too many free passes. If you're Andrews, understanding, yes, it's okay to fear LeBron in the sense that you have to be really dialed in on both sides of the plate, but hey, I'm not going to pitch around you. I'm going to go at your very best and set the tone early.
Two batters so far, 2 put away by Andrews. Coleman Mizell is the designated hitter for Bama. Interesting square to bunt with 2 away, nobody on.
Well, you can see gigantic shift on the right side of the field, but what's interesting is outfield shaded almost right to left, infield left to right. Nobody at home over on the third base side.
Andrews finds the strike zone on the outer half. Quick 0-2 to Mizell. Here he comes. It's fouled back. Drew Landfear gets it in the dirt.
Last night's game. Lower down for the bat, but really reliable option behind the dish as well defensively.
Andrews the 1-2. Now it is an even count. It makes you wonder if we saw it with Gravelin and Eckelman with Ohio State earlier today. Makes you wonder if maybe platooning those guys isn't the best approach for NC State this season.
Just keeps them fresh, right? Fresh legs, which makes them a little bit hungry when they get that shot instead of it kind of being almost an everyday appearance.
Full count. Ball 4, Mizell walks and is the first runner for Alabama today with 2 down.
I was going to remark on it. Then he goes down 0-2 in the flash of an eye, but Coleman Mizell, he's slugging over 800. He's already got 2 home runs on the season, just tied for a team high with LeBron. But what always astounds me with these big, heavy hitters, when a guy like Mizell is able to invert that walk-to-strikeout ratio, at his 7th walk on the season, he's only punched out 3 times. It really is, for a guy that is trying to drive the ball to the ballpark, taking his big 8+ swings. Great approach to the dish as well.
Here's the third baseman, Jason Torres. Strike against him. He's got a big gap on the right side of the infield, partially because of the runner being held at first, but it's otherwise a pull side shift. So Nixon right behind the bag at second.
I think probably a lot of fans are asking themselves, well, hey, we're only a weekend. Do you have enough volume to be heavily shifting as much as they do? When you got a guy on the mound that you really trust, you can almost pitch into this shift. So, yes, we're picking up on tendencies, and then we're going to throw towards those tendencies, right? That's a big slider trying to induce a ground ball to the left side. So you're throwing towards the way that you are defensively setting up.
2 strikes on Torres. And he fouls it away. He'll keep his 1 and 2. There goes the runner. Andrews the pitch. Outside of the zone, it was a worm burner on its way to second base, and Mizell is in safely.
Again, Mizell, the versatility of a 3-hole, is a big kid. Look at him boogie. It's a great jump. Andrews on the mound. It's a good throw. Nixon unable to bring it in, but hey, 1-2. You're forcing the catcher to come up out of the chute and make a decision. Do I frame this? Try to gun the man out. They have given Torres a little bit of second life.
Now it's 2-2 from Andrews. Swing and a miss. That retires the side. Bama strands a runner in scoring position. Clean frames through an inning of work. We move to the second.
Chris Cole, Turner on his way to second. Cole, strike 3 on the inside. Almost low time. Super Regional on the way for NC State. The Pack is back in Omaha. It's a dog pile in the infield at the home of the Dogs.
Well, if you didn't know who NC State was, you know now.
And he's going to watch it fly. He made the catch. Cole, strike 3. 8 strikeouts. Brian Maroon. Strike 3 call. It's a sweep for NC State. And it's not coming back.
The Jacks College Baseball Classic is brought to you by D1Baseball.com. No one covers college baseball like D1 Baseball. Covering every game from coast to coast, D1 Baseball is the resource no college baseball fan can be without. Smooth sailing through the first inning for both defenses. So to the top of the second we go. Will Hodo, Brennan Norton, and Cade Snell, the due-up batters in the home half. But it'll be Chris McHugh, Alex Sosa, and Braden Fraisman for NC State. To again face Riley Quick, 4, 5, 6 in the order for NC State. Slider with the first pitch. McHugh watches outside. 8 for 18 this season, 9 runs driven in. That's a team high. Smoked through the right side of the infield. A slight pull side shift kept it away from Norton at second base.
It's so funny. I'm sitting here thinking to myself, man, if I had 98 in my back pocket, I feel like I'd get ahead in every single count because I'm just going to throw 97 by you. Quick goes first pitch slider off the plate in the VCU transfer. Grip it and rip it. 253 in the 8-10 a year ago. How about the respect from the Q going, can't throw that guy a fastball? He was right. Shoots it the other way. Leadoff single.
Brings up Alex Sosa, the DH today. Healthy hack on the first pitch. Another grounder. This time LeBron's got it. Steps on the bag himself. An easy double play turn.
Two things stand out here. Sosa, I like him trying to shoot the ball through the middle of the field, but double play depth. Riley, quick, get that hand out of the way. That hand's been touched by the grace of God. It goes 100 miles per hour. We've got that dude behind you for an easy 6-3 unassisted double play. You can see just Riley Quick, athlete, couldn't help himself, cat-like. Fortunately, he's got Justin LeBron behind him.
First pitch to Braden Fraseman. That slider also.
Does everything hard, right? Like that slider at 89 miles per hour. I was getting my doors blown off by an 89 mile per hour fastball.
Floats that one top shelf. Fraseman again doesn't go for it. 2-0. To Fraseman. And a called strike. So 3-1 now. Fraseman, 7 hits, 7 runs driven in for the Wolfpack so far this season. And that's ball 4. Some hesitation from it. Felt like a little bit of everybody there.
Love the at-bat. Take the walk. Did a good job spitting on the sliders early. Fraseman, a junior. Another guy that with a lot of new faces, with a lot departing from a year ago that they're going to ask a lot of. But after just 5 games, he looks like he's ready to answer the call.
First pitch swung on half-heartedly by Drew Landfear, and he grounds out to Norton at second base. Strands a runner, retires the side, scoreless through an inning and a half.
Hi, I'm Bob, or breakfast on a bun. I answer to both. My brother, Bob Ranchero. Hey, he's always been the wild one.
Howdy.
We're actually twins. Same signature sausage, fresh egg, and melty cheese. But that picante salsa and pickled jalapenos, it changes you. We're still close. He does call me regular Bob, though, which is a little hurtful.
We'd love for you to stay up to date with the Jacks College Baseball Classic all year round. You can do so by following on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, now X, at Jacks CBC on all social media platforms. Bottom 2, it'll be middle of the order for Alabama, beginning with the 5-hitter Will Hodo. Then Brennan Norton, Cade Snell. Second inning of work on the mound for the Wolfpack in Heath Andrews, the sophomore right-hander. Walked a batter, but it was inconsequential for the Wolfpack in the bottom of the first inning.
Andrew Slayton in that Saturday role. Think about that loaded rotation from a season ago. You're part of that crazy freshman class of arms that just all seem to blend together. Going, how much talent did you bring in? This 2024 freshman class, he one of them, made 10 appearances, just one start. Imagine how much you learn from guys like a Sam Highfield, quite really known as the mayor in Raleigh.
First pitch to Hodo is a miss, up and away. It's an interesting thing that you bring up. We've talked a lot about the guys in the lineup. Shot up the middle. Hodo with a leadoff single. Second base runner in as many innings for Alabama. I was going to say, we talk a lot about the five main exiters of the lineup for NC State. Sam Highfield at the beginning of the rotation. I mean, that is a massive departure for them.
It's easy, like almost like in a video game when you see the names, they stand out and you go, well, you return Dude and D-Rock and Consiglio. And you lose that veteran leadership. It almost takes a little while for emerging captains and leaders to stand up, to go, not that you're scared to step foot in those shoes, but to go, all right, hey, this is what we learned from these guys. Now it's time for us to become them in our own genuine way. There's going to be some growing pains early on in the season for the Pack.
Pickoff move, but Hodo's back at first. Couple of dives back for Hodo. Brennan Norton, meanwhile, fifth start of the season, 8 for 19 on the year. He's got 2 strikes.
Norton, if you remember, the only RBIs driven in on a swing yesterday, the Jacksonville State second baseman talking with Coach Vaughn. He goes, yeah, this guy's kind of crazy. Like, we need kind of crazy. No batting gloves, just a bulldog. To find him as a savage in the box last night in the post-game presser.
Fights it away, still has an 0-2. Did I hear him correctly when we were at their practice? Rob Vaughn, that is. When he called Norton their Kevin Millar.
And he did.
He had watched the Netflix documentary on the 2004 Boston Red Sox. And he described Brennan Norton as their Kevin Millar, which is very much, I mean, if you're not familiar with his role on that team, very much culture guy.
It's funny, I believe, someone in the postgame presser asked, he goes, Brennan, how'd that make you feel when Coach, kind of let us in on that little secret that you're the personality that everyone aspires to be? He goes, it felt pretty good.
Battling with 2 strikes here. I think it's an apt comparison on Coach Vaughn's part, too, because if you remember that season, Kevin Millar would show up and have a different facial hairstyle for like every week.
Norton's rocking the sweet. We call it a chin piece. Is it a goatee? I don't know what it is.
It is a form of a goatee, a chin beard, I would say.
It screams no batting gloves, gritty backside guy. Like, I'm all in.
Another one fought off.
I believe it was Kevin Millar in that Red Sox documentary. Talking about just stay in the fight. Just like find a way to stay in the fight. Don't let us win tonight. Just let us stay in the fight. This is exactly what Brennan Norton kind of brings into the batter's box, right? Like just to spoil, win round.
That's in the dirt, so now it's 2-2.
This is what we kind of talked about in the Open, too. This idea that this Alabama offense can beat you in a multitude of ways. Like, only 5 hits last night, you still put up 9 runs. And it's at-bats like this that become exhausting for opposing arms.
Well, Hodos, maybe to a point of exhaustion. Up and down, up and down. Two. Strike 3. Andrews put it on the outer half. Norton went down and looked at it, and it's strike 3.
Almost just freezes him up a little bit. He's just 93 dotted on the outside corner. Maybe a little generous, but it's Lanfear behind the plate. Maybe stealing a ball and a half off. As a former catcher, I'm all in. Like,
I know you love it. I know you love it.
You make it look pretty. Sign me up. Don't ever give me the robot umpires. Ever. It takes away the art behind the plate.
Hodo, not a stolen base this season, but he's been thrown at a lot here. And the first pitch to Cade Snell is above the zone, 1-0. Even count.
You notice, like, when Andrews takes that big breath right before he delivers, he hasn't necessarily mixed up his looks. Like, he's very much so in a rhythm and in a routine. I think that's why they constantly keep throwing over, because so you're giving a 2 look there. I think Coach Vaughn, you know that he loves to pick up on those tendencies and wants to put a lot of pressure on opposing defenses. Maybe a little time consuming, but important here in this inning to make sure you throw up another 0.
Line drive to the opposite field. And it is a base hit for Cade Snell. 2 aboard for Bama with 1 away.
Go down and get it. First base coach Mikey Morrison talked about him last night, the former Chanticleer. You can see he said exactly what I did, man. Backside lean, yes. Cade Snell, great piece of hitting.
So now it's Will Platner, the starting catcher for Alabama today. 3rd start of the season. First pitch pulled deep into the corner. A run is across. And Snell is held at 3rd. It's an RBI double. Bama strikes first.
Wasting no time. Will Platner. A little bit of an open stance. You see he's got the big leg kick sitting in the backside. Just ambushes a first pitch fastball. This is where the at-bats of Norton and Snell kind of wear on you. Where you're deep in, you lose a little bit distraction. You try to sneak a fastball, and the guy that maybe you didn't do as deep of a scouting report on, and Will Platner ambushes up against the wall.
His 3rd run driven in this season, and he's now 4 of 9. So now it's 2 in scoring position for Richie Bonamolo Jr. Bonamolo lays down a bunt. Runner stayed put. The throw from Andrews, well placed. Gave McHugh plenty of room to lean and make the catch.
See, Andrews almost loses his footing on this bunt. Love where Bama's head's at. Trying to get the run in. You see that front foot almost slides. No panic. Reset the feet. Deliver a strike. Now, I will say this, being in the safety variety, I would have loved to see if Cade Snell could have gotten a better jump down, see ball down and take off, but
Bryce Fowler, first pitch, sky to center field. Ty Head makes the catch. And the inning is over, but Alabama first on the board. They lead it 1-0 as we move to the third. Fraisman, couple of home runs. Chris McHugh, we've already seen him lace a single, but almost 110 miles per hour off the bat. And then, of course, Heath Andrews, the starting pitcher, 1 run surrendered through 2 innings now.
All eyes on Heath Andrews. Surrendering a run, limiting the damage, doing a great job fielding his position. The young sophomore talked about how deep and talented that NC State bullpen is that's been roughed up, frankly, in the last 2 contests. So, and he helped bridge the gap, give them 6 to 7 innings of quality work today.
To the third we go. Riley Quick back out onto the mound for the Crimson Tide. He's faced 7 batters, given up a hit and a walk, but no one has reached scoring position yet for NC State.
Bill Plattner with that big double. A lot of conversation on the backstop being Brady Neal, the LSU transfer for Alabama. I mean, what a luxury for Coach Vaughn to not only platoon 2 catchers he clearly trusts defensively, but also a righty and a lefty with the bats. Get really creative in weekends in the SEC.
Ty Head hit by the first pitch from Quick. Freshman in the 8th spot in the order for NC State. Reaches to begin the frame and right in that front shin.
I don't care that that was a slider. And again, Riley Quick throws a slider at 88 miles per hour. That does not feel good.
Third base runner of the short day so far for NC State. Matt Havner is the batter, third baseman in the lineup today after not playing against Ohio State yesterday. The bunt is down. Plattner, throw to first, and a sacrifice executed.
Job well done for Havner, advancing to head into second base. They must have heard you, Darren, said, hey, nobody in scoring position. Let's do this thing the old-fashioned way. That ball being dead right there in that halo. Up for a second. Plattner was going to have a play at second base, especially with Head taking that HBP right off the leg. Wisely just secures out number 1.
Backdoor slider in for a strike on the first pitch to Luke Nixon. Ground ball to shortstop his first time up after 8 pitches. Rips a swing and misses. Quick 0-2 to Luke Nixon. Infield at double play depth. chases high, swings and misses. 3 pitches and a fanning of Luke Nixon.
In that first at bat, Nixon forcing Quick to throw upwards of 9 pitches. This time Quick going, I'm not even going to show him the sinker slider. I'm just going dead red heater at the top of the zone.
Two away for Justin DeCrisio. He swung first pitch last time. Looks at the breaking ball, 0-1.
Yeah, but you see how his hands, they're almost tied in with his back hip, where it's like almost that rubber band effect. Like, it's a really good active take to show that he actually saw that slider out of the hand. Guys that, Quick that throws 96, 97, you throw a slider 2 feet off the plate like that, like you almost see a guy like, watch those feet get a little bit too active. They're out on the front side. You can tell DeCrisio, we've seen beach balls to start this season, feels really comfortable in this AB so far against Quick.
Chops it. Torres from third. Delivers across. And it retires the side. Runner stranded for NC State. Bottom third, here we come. Bama 1, NC State nothing. The Jacks College Baseball Classic is a proud supporter of the Cystic Fibrosis Foundation. Scan the QR code on your screen or visit jackscollegebaseballclassic.com and make a donation to help us add tomorrows to those living with the disease. Players to watch for the Crimson Tide, presented by University of Alabama Online. Kevin Millar, or Brennan Norton, that is. Star shortstop Justin LeBron, and, of course, the starting pitcher Riley Quick, who has looked magnificent so far through 3 innings of work.
A heck of a trio.
Justin LeBron will lead things off for Bama here in the 3rd inning. A fly ball to right his first time up. He's 0 for 1. One of the top shortstops in the country, as ranked by D1 Baseball. We talked a lot yesterday in the game of NC State's about Alex Sosa and his participation with the collegiate national team over the summer. LeBron enjoyed time with Team USA as well. First pitch, weakly hit up the middle. Nixon on the run. What a play.
Knows he's got to get rid of it quickly. Just in time. It's out the speed of LeBron. How quick he gets it in and out of the hands, man. Not only because it's a little bit deceiving with the noise it makes off the bat. Right, so especially with LeBron in the box, your first step almost like that jump stop into a prep stop. Nixon doing a good job getting around it, delivering a strong throw.
Called strike against Mizell. Pull side shift now being played. Mizell walked his first time. 7 pitches it took. Now a 2-2 for Heath Andrews.
I would imagine any at bat against Andrews is not necessarily a very comfortable one. Like, you can see that arm action where he almost extends out. It's almost like that last second effort to get all the way down the hill before he releases it.
Ball 4, low and outside. And Mizell has walked twice in as many plate appearances.
I locked in as he's seen at the plate right now. I saw the power numbers against Bradley over the weekend. Now this weekend gets maybe a little bit higher velo, better stuff. He's still as dialed as ever.
So Jason Torres now strike out his first time up. 500 on base for the season. He's hitting 3 for 9 with runners on, and even .333.
That's a order for foul.
Andrews in the pitch count nearing 50 already, but he's also made a 10 or 12 moves over to first.
Talked about it with the mid-major groups earlier today. Sometimes those guys that throw over a ton, it's just the opportunity to reset that pitch clock, reset the noggin. Were they between he and the backstop, like, just a chance. And again, I think that's another situation where they're not too terribly worried about Mizell running. I can't imagine, not to poo-poo Mizell's ability to boogie, but I think it's just a chance for him to reset on the mound, especially with the youngster.
Fires in a strike to Torres. But from your perspective when you were catching, was it ever part of the conversation that too many of those, and you start to maybe factor that in addition to a pitch count? It's not the same action, same motion.
It's energy, right? Now, I caught in a time where it was obviously well before the pitch clock, and obviously with the major league level, like, I'm not sure how long until you implement the pickoff rule at the college level, but yeah, I mean, it's energy, right? And especially for a sophomore that only threw 10 times last year and only 1 start. Yeah, it's a totally different beast.
Another 1-2 to Torres. Now an even count. It just seems, maybe that's because I'm comparing him to Quick for Alabama. This feels kind of slow. Now, if it's working, maybe I use the word methodical. But
yeah, pragmatic. But I think with Riley Quick, right, like even a bigger guy just like Heath Andrews, Quick is a guy that likes to work with tempo, with pace. Those pitch calls are coming in a lot quicker. With Andrews, he does like to take his time.
It's a swing and a miss from Torres. And that's the second out. See, that's the counter argument, too, is that he works slow. Torres can get caught off guard more easily if that pitch isn't just coming in and in and in and in.
Yeah, and you get anxious, right? That's 2 swinging strikeouts now for Torres, both on breaking balls. And I think the scouting report for the former Miami Hurricane is starting to become evident, where it's like, this guy is hungry to ambush fastballs early in counts, and he's going to get a healthy dosage of spin, especially hitting behind the likes of LeBron and Mizell.
First pitch foul from Hodo, who singled, came around to score that lone run for Alabama his last time up in the second. Into the air, foul territory, and out of play.
Darren, when we talked with Coach Vaughn, the idea of Brennan Norton being Kevin Millar, which might feel like that's your backbone, but this is their fiber. Like, this guy, he said, this is Alabama baseball. He was here before he got here. He'll be here long before he's gone. His cousin, Douglas, who played for Texas, 2 iconic brands in college baseball, Texas and Bama. He goes, man, this guy bleeds Alabama baseball and deserves a whole lot more love on the national scale.
Fights off at 0-2. Norton on deck, by the way, should he be needed. 2 strikes, 2 outs. Andrews drops it in. Beautiful pitch. The backwards K, the 4th punch out for Andrews. It retires the side and strands a Crimson Tide base runner.
The University of Alabama Online, where legends log in. A tradition of excellence. Choose from over 100 affordable degree and certificate programs that fit your budget and schedule. Earn the same degree as you would on campus, with the same affordable tuition rate for every state. UA Online. Advance your career and change your life. Get started today at online.ua.edu.
Top of the 4th inning. Here we come on D1Baseball.com. By the way, we got a couple things going on D1 Baseball. Your picture-in-picture there, an update from Round Rock. No score between Oregon State and Oklahoma. Jack DeLongshaw's with me. He has been all weekend. Kyle Peterson just walked in, the head honcho, El Jefe, if you will. KP, welcome, welcome.
Boys. Good to be with you, gents.
You just came from Round Rock, so you made the trip. A little colder there.
Yeah, this is awesome. I mean, this feels like I'm walking into August weather in Omaha right now. I know it probably feels a little bit different for you guys, but it was I had to wait for 10 minutes this morning in Round Rock and run the defrost on the windshield because I didn't have an ice scraper. Before I thought I was going to miss my flight. I wasn't thinking we needed to worry about that in Austin, Texas, but yeah, it was a little chilly down there.
If it makes you feel any better, Jack showed up yesterday in flip-flops, and it was not as warm now as it is, or not as warm then as it is now.
We mixed it up today, huh?
Here's the deal. I didn't know we were going with El Jefe. That's the coolest nickname around. I know you.
Nor did I.
I did not. I do know that you are a lover of fellow flip-flops. When I pulled up to this incredible venue on Thursday, I had 4 head coaches looking at me like I was bonkers. The perspective did not fear me away with the flops, but the weather sure as heck did. I was easily coachable.
I'm all with you, man. The more days we can wear those things, the better. That's especially, this is kind of a win in Rome place too. If you're in Florida, that's why you show up.
1-1 pitch from Riley. Quick swung on and fouled by Josh Hogue. Missing for about the last half of the season due to injury for NC State last year on that College World Series run, but for much of his time healthy was the leadoff man. Late to catch up, swings and misses, and strikes out.
So what are we thinking, boys? I mean, you've seen all 4 of these for 2 straight days. What stood out? What do you like so far from these 4 teams?
Jack's all in on Ohio State.
Hey, man, I was at home last weekend. It was just me and my dog. It was kind of wonderful, actually.
Magical.
And so it was just find as many games you can. And I watched a lot of that Ohio State-Arizona State series. And I know they got swept. But it's 2 one-run games. They kind of got knocked around. They didn't pitch it great. But there's some pieces there that you think they're going to be all right.
I thought it was insanely deceiving, that series.
Totally agree.
That sweep did not look like a sweep. No. And it didn't look like Ohio State baseball. As a mid-major guy, like I have drinking the Kool-Aid on Justin Hare. Like I think he's gotten belief and buy-in immediately. To get a couple 4-year guys in Petterini, right, to stick around and go all in. Then he recruits the junior college level as well as he has. Like to me, they've been insanely impressive. Know they drop a game against Coastal. Those 2 teams know each other well, but I don't know. I'd love to pick your brain, man. Coach Vaughn has been a delight to talk to, and
awesome.
This guy on the mound, Riley Quick, you know a thing or two about big fellas on the bump. He seems as good as advertised.
Yeah, a little bit crossfire comes across his body just a little bit, so it makes it a little bit tougher. And you could tell at the very beginning he was fighting himself, but ended up. He got the leadoff man on. It just took him got the leadoff man out. It just took him 7 or 8 pitches. Now he's kind of settled in. I mean, since then he's thrown strike 1 a lot more. The stuff plays though, that's for sure.
That was, by the way, with Justin LeBron at shortstop, a communication device. They swapped out the technology.
All the stuff that we didn't have to worry about.
No.
20-some years, almost 30 years ago. It was 30 years ago that I got to college. Yeah, we didn't have to worry about communication devices in the middle of an inning.
Chris McHugh, big swing, slices foul.
I know we showed that picture-in-picture. You got OU going tonight. There's some arms now. I mean, this is a big-time arm. Don't get me wrong, but OU is going to roll 3 real arms out on the weekend that are going to be fun to watch.
Oof. McHugh swings and misses. Consecutive strikeouts for Quick. He's up to 4 of them.
Peter's still playing the second time through the lineup as well. You mentioned those OU arms. How about Whitney going against him, though?
I know.
He's filthy.
Yeah, I told the guys before I left yesterday, I'm like, man, your night game tomorrow night is going to be fun. Just sit back and watch because you got, potential big leaguer, and Whitney came on the scene in a big way in his first start. He looks the part, and Oregon State really looks the part too. That's why I like these, man. These early tournaments. I mean, you get teams that they're all in different conferences. They're usually not going to play each other during the course of the year, but
Alex Sosa contacts it high into the air. Plattner out from behind the dish. Locates it and squeezes for the 3rd out. We're going to keep it here and wrap with KP a little bit between sides here.
It's got to make you smile. Like the perfect catcher route right there. We're holding the mask until the last point to make the catch on the mound. That makes you feel pretty good. Just don't hit a net. Don't hit a net. Don't hit a net.
And he ditches it at the last second, too. Look at the feet,
Comfy.
So quiet.
Yeah, we're good.
I'll tell you this, too. I mean, they've got 2 really talented catchers. I know Brady Neal kind of controlled the conversations out of the portal when he jumped from LSU to Bama, but Plattner with the double early, nice and quiet behind the dish. Darren and I kind of talked about how loaded the SEC is and how winning a regular season conference, a regular season title is a little bit obscure with how loaded it's been, but they kind of feel like they're poised to make a run like Kentucky did last year out of nowhere.
It wouldn't shock me. I liked them last year. I mean, I saw them at Ole Miss towards the end of the year, and the pieces you really like. I mean, LeBron jumps off the page. Yep. There's certain guys you got to watch like 3 or 4 games. LeBron you got to watch for like 5 minutes. And the minute you get done, you're like, yeah, he's gonna make some money playing this. He's probably making money now playing the game, but he's gonna make a lot of money playing this game. And I was talking to Rob before the game. I mean, the athletic stuff off the charts. He went straight to the kid and the parents and the leadership. And I know you guys were talking about Hodo before I came on. And so you combine that with, if your best player is one of your best dudes, you got a real chance because that doesn't always happen. I mean, you see it all the time. You can't necessarily make the best player the guy that everybody is going to be drawn to. But LeBron really feels like it is that case. And you surround him with some vets, and you got something that could turn out pretty good.
Yeah, and part of what Coach Vaughn was, I think, maybe imparting the same things on us when we met with him during their practice on Thursday was he was very upfront. He said, look, LeBron could be playing anywhere in the country he wants right now, and he has chosen us, and that is a big deal.
He stayed. I mean, listen, it's Alabama, right? I mean, it's not – but I understand what he's saying. This kid's going to be interesting, too. Like, if you can get some of these glue guys, and Norton is kind of that glue guy that you bring in. He doesn't need to hit the middle of the lineup. You can push him down a little bit. But he's hit – I mean, he really hit last year at Jacksonville State. Not this Jacksonville, but the one that's a little bit further west from here. Those are the portal guys that Alabama can really use.
It's where culture, right? Like, I don't know if you ever heard this, but I always love asking coaches, hey, I can read a box score. When I watch Justin LeBron play, I go, we're all seeing the same thing, right? Like, we get that. I want to know the fiber.
Norton flies it up, down the line, right field, just out of play. Yeah, AP, we saw plenty of short porch homers over that. I thought that was what we were going to get there.
Yeah, this place looks a bit different than it did last year, Darren. All this up in right field, and I know you got a new construction buddy that caught a ball in BP that had you pretty fired up.
Oh.
It's a cool setting.
I mentioned earlier Justin LeBron with Team USA. Look at that.
It's exactly what Coach Vaughn explained to us, this idea that, like, you cannot fake genuine, you cannot fake authentic. Thursday night they did team karaoke where they made all the freshmen get up and sing.
Good.
Right? Hey, I can see talent, but when I get a sophomore to buy in and actually just go sing karaoke without having being asked, it's the little things to me where, hey, he is a superstar. He knows he's a superstar. But to his teammates, man, he's just another dude in the locker room, and that's everything.
You know, I mean, you guys have been in plenty of clubhouses. You can't trick a clubhouse. Well, you can trick a lot of people, but you don't trick a clubhouse. They figure out who you are. They figure out if they want to be behind you. And when you get that right clubhouse, that's when you know you really have something. And you don't know ahead of time. You don't know if it's all going to work together. But clubhouses it's a rare breed in the world, man. It's you know if they work, and you know pretty quick if they don't.
Helps when you got a guy like Coach Vaughn at the helm.
Yep.
Good take by Norton. He's worked 0-2 all the way to a full count here with a couple of foul balls, too.
Hey, I was sitting with your buddy Ben Upton, just sitting by no play watching this game, and
Norton crushes it. It clears the scoreboard. That exits the yard by a mile. Solo shot makes it 2-0 tied.
No BGs, no problem. The Gamecock transfer. Coach said Kevin Millar.
Yeah.
I see it.
Yeah.
I see it. I know it was a personality comp, but I see the swing too.
Whoever was driving that silver Nissan Sentra that was going by thinking they were just hanging out by a ballpark had one bounce right in front of them because that hit in the street, I think.
Jack, that's a mammo. That's
a lenient. We talked about yesterday the wind howling in from left center field. It was going to take some grown man strength to lead the Jacks Classic. That's a grown man senior doing it with ease.
Good bounce back for Andrews. 3-pitch strikeout of Cade Snell.
All right, so I was talking about Upton. Thankfully, I shut up in time for Vaught to be able to call that home run. So we talk too often about umpires that stick out because maybe they're doing things you don't think are right. Brian DeBrouwer behind home plate has as good a collegiate strike zone as I've ever seen in my entire life.
Couldn't agree more. Jack, you should have heard this clown yesterday.
You were in midseason form, stepping away. I was in midseason form with one of the worst mispronunciations of his name.
DeBrouwer?
Ever.
But KP, he didn't even try it. Like he was like the home plate umpire, and he was reading it as he was trying to. I told him, like, I love you for it sometimes, man, but you're a little ready, fire, aim for this.
I'm a don't think, just throw kind of guy.
That's a tough one, though.
It is, but like at least look at it before you try.
The worst part was I'm like, hey, these umpires don't get enough love. I'm gonna do it, and then I started and I go, I'm in a little bit too deep of water here.
That's where you get through the Brian, and you're like, oh no, hold on.
Yeah.
This next one's a little bit tougher. I didn't know we were going
What
there.
made it way worse is with the minute that Darren caught me, I go, man, he's a really good one too. Like I remember listening to with you guys. He's an SEC guy, dang it.
That's funny.
Little bouncer off the bat of Plattner. Bare hand, the throw is there.
Ooh. Do I dare, Darren? Da-da-da.
May get it there. It's that time of year we start getting to see baseball highlights on SportsCenter at the end of the night. We like that.
It's true. It's true.
Week 1, we get Justin LeBron against Bradley on ESPN? Yeah. Come on, good for the game.
This should just be a LeBron segment every weekend. Like, just pick whatever the best play is for the weekend, and he's on SportsCenter.
We got him rolling into the ballpark. I know Turtle Box, big fan of the brand.
Did he?
He had a big, this is old school. He comes in with the Turtle Box over the shoulder. He's rocking out to his own walk-up song. I was like, that's it factor.
He would be he now would be my kid's favorite collegiate baseball player, just for that.
Oh, yeah.
Just for walking in. Like, forget how good he is, but if he's rolling in with Turtle Box, he's in.
KP, your kid and I are the same.
Yeah.
Swing and a miss. Richie Bonamolo Jr., 0 for 1. He tried that bunt with runners on second and third his last time up and got thrown out at first.
Remind me of a Turtle Box story. Somebody told me a long time ago, don't start a story with 2 strikes and 2 outs, so I'm not going to do it right now. Because you get burned on it every single time.
Right.
So I'm not going to start it right now.
All right. We'll bring it up later.
See?
Adamolo can't connect. It's strike 3. A solo shot to lead it off for Brennan Norton adds another for Alabama. They lead 2-0 now over NC State, looking to go 2-0 on the weekend.
The University of Alabama Online, where legends log in. A tradition of excellence. Choose from over 100 affordable degree and certificate programs that fit your budget and schedule. Earn the same degree as you would on campus, with the same affordable tuition rate for every state. UA Online. Advance your career and change your life. Get started today at online.ua.edu.
The Jacks College Baseball Classic is presented by Peak Events, home of the best outside of Omaha. Follow Peak DOT Events on social media to keep up with the best in early season college baseball.
All right, so I got to give our Turtle Box guys some love. So my son plays college golf at a D3 school down in Lincoln. Last year in high school, he's playing in a junior tournament. And it's like the junior state or whatever it was. And he's leading after the first round. And Turtle Box had sent me some hats. He had a Turtle Box hat on. And he gives this interview to like the Nebraska Golf Association, whatever it is, that ends up going viral. Like Golf Digest picks it up. It goes all over these places because he sounds like a total 18-year-old moron. But yet it gets like 1 million views and all this stuff. And Turtle Box sees it. And they have no idea that he's my kid at all. And they find him, and they send him like 3 hats and 2 Turtle Boxes, and you honestly would have thought that they sent him a Lamborghini. Like, in his mind, he had an NIL deal.
He did.
Oh, and he was, I mean, just at Turtle Box hats every day. It didn't matter where he went. He ended up losing the tournament, but that didn't matter.
It didn't matter. The NIL deal was done.
He got the deal.
The deal's done.
Yeah.
See, in the world of NIL, we have missed. That's actually what it's for.
Yeah.
Ooh, little 2-run lead for the Bees.
Beeves are real now. Beeves are real.
All right, so Darren and I had a little bit of an argument. So your guy been up there now. 8 years. 2000, mid-major team wins the Natty. 2008, Fresno State. 2016, Coastal Carolina.
So you're going to call Oregon State a mid-major?
No, I didn't do it, but I was going to ask you.
He started to.
We said non-power 4. I mean, rich, tradition, program.
Oh,
best.
They got all the pieces, I'll tell you that.
New arm for Alabama, by the way, Matthew Heiberger. As Riley Quick's day is done after 4 innings.
Tron actually brought up Heiberger with us. The southpaw that can extend and go a couple innings. Really smooth delivery.
Contacted by Braden Fraisman. 1-2 after the foul ball.
Isn't this setting cool? Like, I love ballparks that have great backdrops when you're up in the booth, and even when you're sitting in the stands, you can see a lot of it. You get the bridge, you get the Jags facility in right field, you get your favorite construction workers that are not doing construction right now, they're just watching a game.
Heiberger spins to throw and delivers an accurate one to first.
Fancy footwork by Hodo to get out of the way. I mean, those plays always scare me. Love that second bat in.
Too.
Yeah.
I mean, it looks a little funky when they do it at the beginning, but from a, protect everybody standpoint, because the one thing that bugs me the most is that play to where a guy's on the line or just inside the line throwing to first and they hit him when the whole base before is in fair territory. Like, where are you supposed to go at the end? You're going to be in fair territory a little bit. This takes, hopefully, some of that to play out, which makes it easier for umpires because that's a terrible call to have to make.
I love it. And I think it's a win-win. Like, okay, you think it looked goofy? Like, I think of that Max Muncy play at the big league level a couple years ago. Where it's like you're protecting guys like in those weird, like having to come across the line. I think it's a no-brainer.
Hey, it looks goofy wearing flips to the ballpark when it's 45 degrees, but some people do it.
Hey.
And it works. Like, it doesn't have to look the same for everybody.
I'm a dress well, test
well. It just has to work. It just like the safety bag. It's the same idea.
Some say pen, I say pencil. Other rock shoes. I'm a flip-flop guy. I'm with you. I follow you on that thing.
Uh-oh. Bouncer just fouled down the line. Now 2-2 to Drew Lanphier. I do worry, KP. I think we're in for it, and it's not going to happen enough to make it a deterrent from the new rule with the second bag. Lanphier lines it, and it's down and left, a base knock for the Wolfpack. I think we're inevitably going to run into a play where a throw is required across. Like you get a dropped third strike, and the throw is going to be made from the outside of the line. It's got to be made by rule now to the inside bag. I wonder if eventually there's going to be room for some growth there where it inverts on a certain play. I don't know how possible it is to make it that fluid of a rule.
You're right. I mean, there's got to be a couple plays where everybody looks at it and they're like, well, if it wasn't there, then but I do think the overall safety component, like the vast majority of the plays at first base.
Short play in center and sliding. Bonamolo makes the grab.
Good break.
We've seen some talented center fielders this tournament. I want to go back to your comment about the venue. This place has been 5 stars it gets, especially when the lights go out, man. You can see the whole city. And we've seen some stars really shining on the biggest stage. Bonamolo making a nice one. But I want to go to that hashtag best outside of Omaha because it really does have a regional feel to it. Like, you could look at all 4 teams and go, hey, we've got a little bit of everything. And I think that's why the coaches are such a huge fan of what you guys have been able to put together, man. It's been an awesome weekend.
Yeah, I mean, it's the peak folks are the ones that do it all as far as the teams and putting everything together. And in talking to the coaches today, and both of them said it totally unprompted. It's just how well they're taken care of. And all of the little stuff you don't have to worry about.
Sweep take by Matt Hefner, 1-1.
Playing great teams in great venues. In this situation, your fan bases can get here for these two teams, which I think is huge for these preseason tournaments. Frisco next weekend is basically sold out. Now, the Fighting LSU Tigers are there, and that's got something to do with it, but essentially for the whole weekend, it's basically sold out.
Unprompted, Jay Johnson talked about how Bayou Nation has loved these peak events in general. And in this tournament, too, it's such a cool, like, eclectic group of fan bases. Like, I saw Ohio State fans tailgating at 10 o'clock in the morning, having a beverage or two. You know, Teal Nations coming, rocking and rolling. Like, it's been a really, really cool, unique, different group of fan bases that don't oftentimes get to play.
I'll tell you that the Oregon State Beaver Nation, I know that they've got all their fancy beers up in Oregon. They found some they liked yesterday, I'll tell you that, because it was not quiet when they showed up.
2-2, fouled off by Hefner. He'll see another.
They did it in Surprise the weekend before. Hey, Corvallis, hand up. I didn't know you traveled like that. That's on me.
See the Huskers? See the Huskers in Arizona last weekend. They're the same way. Nebraska will be in Frisco next week.
That's 2-0. I see you leaning in at the monitor, KP.
Look at the freshman, man. Look at the freshman. Like, this is...
He's silly.
He is. He is. And they were pretty good on the mound last night, too. They put together a really cool schedule. I mean, out of necessity, obviously, but they're still playing a heck of a schedule this year.
The RPI last year, almost on brand with it, is this year they had to kind of pull a couple of midweeks up their sleeve. It's insane who they're going to look at the rest of the slate. You mentioned the Huskers, though. So I was in the building when Nebraska took down Vandy. Coach Bolt and Tucker Tillman taking that comebacker, coming off the mound, bleeding, literally looks like he went 12 with Rocky Balboa. It's something stirring in Big Red Nation. I've been educated.
Well, and that was a different day. I mean, So Greg Sharp was the voice of the Huskers for a long time. And Greg had passed away from pancreatic cancer, I believe, the day before, 2 days before. And they had a little extra help that day, which was cool.
How about this, AB? Another foul ball for Matt Havner. Very much a glue guy down the stretch. Answered the call when needed toward the end of last season. And that run to Omaha for the Wolfpack. Lofted up into the air. Playable for Snell. And that is the side in the top of the 5th inning. To the home half. Bama to the plate, leading 2-0 in Jacksonville.
Ran up by the Lux soon as I up the highest metric. The city just made it sweet, you could diabetic. They mouth shit full of deceit. Let these cowards tell it. Walking New Orleans with the etiquette, the LA yelling. Second bad, but somebody gotta do it. Got my foot up on the gas, but somebody gotta do it.
Back in Jacksonville, Kyle Peterson, Jack DeLongchamp, Darren Vaught. 2-0 for Alabama midway through. You guys were talking about the scenery here in Jax. Look at the bridge in the far background there.
Be lit up here in what, about an hour or so?
Should be about an hour.
Backdrop, what's all lit up?
A Jaguar on the practice facility off to the left side of your screen lights up. 4th of July, man, I'm telling you. And I think we kind of joked about MLB The Show. I'm not sure if your son is a big video game guy. I always get my tail kicked in. But we were talking about how, like, when you used to be able to, like, build stadiums in MLB The Show, that this feels like one of those ballparks. Like, what's next? A Ferris wheel out in left center field? Like, we got everything here.
We got one in Omaha now.
Yeah, we do.
We got the Ferris wheel in Omaha now. So
I think Jack's first time out there, he slept in one of the little carriages.
I'll tell you. Don't put it past me.
I know.
If they'll let me, I'll try.
I'm not gonna.
Rumor has it, being the Jacksonville Jumbo Shrimp, they're looking to add, right after they finish right center field, and this is not a joke, an actual shrimp boat out in left center field, which will be insanely awesome, a tad bit hilarious.
Yeah, some team staffers telling us about that earlier when we got here this week. Your minor league baseball team, lean in.
Oh yeah, I remember it was quite an education when I went to the minor leagues, because you think everybody's showing up to watch baseball. They're really not. It's everything else. I mean, it's what are they giving away that day? And I think it was the first or second game we were in Ogden. They drove some old beat-up car around. Everybody's trying to throw baseballs into the window, and I'm like, what are we doing? It was a great introduction to what is the beauty of minor league baseball.
It's the drinking circus with a side dish of baseball.
4-pitch walk, top of the order for Alabama. Bryce Fowler reaches to lead off, and it comes time for Justin LeBron and his third plate appearance. 0-for-2, a fly to right, and a ground ball to second base so far. Jack, are you hearing this? We've been talking walk-ups.
Do we think that was actually his?
The guys had chosen theirs. I get that there's a rare instance where it doesn't get played, but that was Justin LeBron walking up to Paramore. I love it.
I can confirm that's not what he had playing on his turtle box when he rolled it.
This is the part in the show where the old guy lets the younger guys talk about music, and he just watches baseball.
We'll give you a little bit of dish from minor league baseball there for a second.
Yes.
Here's Coach Vaughn. We've seen him put a lot of pressure on NC State, though. Not to bring it back to baseball super fast, but
well, the top of this lineup. I mean, that's who's going to go.
Fowler 6 for 6. Kid can really boogie.
Oh, 2. LeBron lifts it.
Uh-oh.
Confusion, and it drops in center field. I had started to say, guys, you heard at least 2, maybe all 3 of them call for it.
And that's a youngster. We talked about Elliott Avent, man. He's usually a veteran-led group. This is a freshman out in center field, highly touted young man in Ty Head. And I think, obviously, center fielder, he's got priority over everybody. But with Nixon, who's so sure-handed, I'm not sure if the communication was a little bit quiet out there or what, but big draw for the Tide.
This is just a slow the heartbeat down visit right here. Just, all right, boys, we're all right. I know that was supposed to be one. I got me about 10, 15 minutes of good Elliott time before this game, which it just makes you right. It just kind of gets you centered in the world again. And I'm sure they're probably thinking a little bit different on the mound right now. I don't know if this is necessarily where they want their Elliott time, but he's a beautiful human being, man. He is something else.
He's good for the soul. I don't know if we saw the tweets going nuts on Thursday night, but we showed up and he was already messing with Sosa right in front of us and talking about, hey, Makarevich and Pennington and Butter. They're not here. Yeah. They're not here. I'm looking for them. They're not here. 5 minutes later, he's got the hockey game up on the Jumbotron. I go, this guy rocks.
First pitch swinging. Mizell, deep left center field. Head tracks it back and makes the grab. Now they're going to go to second. The throw not there in time. Both runners advance.
I love the little stuff in the game. And you talk about the speed at the top of this order. I mean, you know, in that situation, there's no doubt they're going second to third. But for LeBron, after thinking that he flies out just a minute ago, he doesn't put his head down, recognizing he's got a chance. And then when they start to vacate and get off second base, he's got just a little bit more time. It takes a perfect throw to even have a chance. But then you got everybody moving at the exact same time. That's what winning teams do. This is stuff that is not box score stuff, but ultimately now you got 2 guys that are in scoring position. You can't roll a double play and get you out of the inning. It totally changes the approach.
Coach El Jefe, I asked him last night after their win. I said, this is a weird ball game, and he kind of described as savages in the boxes, like a la Aaron Boone, but like that's what tonight was. We got to learn how to win in a multitude of ways. And I asked him, I go, Coach, how do you define baseball stuff? Because it just feels like you guys deliver on that on both sides of the diamond.
That's the baseball stuff right there. Look at the infield. Like, the infield's not coming in if LeBron's not standing at second base. It totally changes the approach at the plate.
Infield is in. It's a pull side shift for Torres here, who has struck out swinging both times up.
See, big shift in the infield. Darren and I saw him do it during BP the other day. Man, he hit a couple big-time home runs just backside, like really bought into his BP rounds. With 2 strikeouts early swinging. Let's see if he can't let this pitch travel a little bit deeper.
Called strike on the 2-0. Evens it up, 2-2. Torres lays off, full count.
Should take good sequence, too. You go fastball in on the hands, and then Darren to lay off a slider that's right off the plate. Now 3-2, first base open. Be shocked if this isn't another slider. It doesn't necessarily have to be on the plate. If you walk him, it doesn't kill you.
just off of the plate.
That walk feels like it deserves a bat flip, huh?
You don't see that very often, do you? The old, did you see how good my take was? I'm going to flip my bat just to prove it. He's right.
Yeah.
He's exactly right.
Especially for a guy that's punched twice on pitches out of the zone, right? Like, hey, that would no distaste towards the dude on the mound. I'm more so fired up. I can't believe I took those nasty breaking balls.
Bases loaded for Will Hodo now. Still one away. Andrews looks like he's going to go from the windup. It's a first pitch strike. Hodo 1 for 2, singled his first time up and came across to score the first run for Alabama.
This is the definition of a collegiate professional hitter, where you just feel like he's going to do something to put it in play.
And there it is in play. DeCrisio flips to second. Nixon turn, and the Wolfpack get 2 and prevent another run for scoring. They keep it within 2, and the sure-handed middle infield of Justin DeCrisio and Luke Nixon make the play. Two to nothing in both locations. Bama 2, NC State 2 here in Jacksonville. Oregon State 2, Oklahoma nothing. Did I say NC State 2? It's not tied. 2 to nothing here. You see it on your screen.
You're good at words. Numbers are fugazi.
Bunch of numbers in there. That's all right. You get the point. Jack DeLongchamp, Darren Vaught, happy to have you here on D1 Baseball. How about Heath Andrews, starting pitcher for NC State?
Like a huge maturation moment in his young career. Just one start a season ago, and for Andrews, right, appearing in 10 games on a team that makes a run to Omaha. So many freshmen so many have made remarks about, hey, All-American here, All-American there, Consiglio, dude, and how about Andrews? That's a moment where a kid makes an error out in center field. He goes, hey, I'm going to pick you up a little bit. Coach Avent comes up, slows the moment down. Clinical, man. Doesn't cave in after a really nice at-bat from Torres. Gets a really good hitter to ground into a double play. That's a big-time moment for not only this ball club to stay in this game, but now moving forward, his teammates are going to go, hey, I'm ready to go to battle for Andrews.
Got out of the jam when it was the top of the order for Alabama in the last side. Now the Wolfpack with a chance to get onto the scoreboard with the top of theirs. With Nixon shuffles his feet out of the way, 1-0. He's 0 for 2, ground ball to short, and a strikeout. Now 1-1. DeCrisio to follow him, then Josh Hogue. Two now with the foul ball.
Man, we didn't really talk much about it with the book now closed on really quick. Fairly efficient day from the big fella.
Weak ground ball. Heiberger again picks it, spins, and throws out a batter at first. Yeah, I think to say the least, maybe a little surprised they didn't extend him a bit longer, but good outing.
Yeah.
You know, shutout innings in a game in which your team is coming out just ahead offensively.
We were going to say, Coach Vaughn went out of his way to talk about Heiberger, too, so this doesn't feel like a situation for, quick, hey, you pull him just in precautionary fashion if there's an injury that we're not aware of. But, like, this just feels like a part of the plan. Like, hey, we were coming in on a mission. We need Riley Quick to be at his very best come SEC play. They go a little Johnny Holstaff action with another guy warming in the pen. This is just right on action.
Think about it, too. We talked about the schematics of the tournament and how that plays. If you're trying to win the Jacks Classic, They beat NC State. They're the only 2-0 team going into tomorrow. Dribbler, DeCrisio, another one for Heiberger.
Just in case you didn't know he could defend his position, a little deja vu action. Also, by the way, that's the first barrel that DeCrisio hasn't hit over 95 miles per hour the entire Jacks Classic.
Yeah.
First one. It's really stupid.
Yet he's 0 for 3 today. Baseball. There's your baseball stuff.
Yeah, well, that's the baseball stuff that's going to make you want to put everything on eBay and go home.
So now Josh Hogue is going to get a minute in a meeting, perhaps if for no other reason, but just to make sure this side doesn't last a minute.
Yeah, this is associate head coach Chris Hart just taking a second going, hey, Heiberger, this is quick. You could tell there was a lot of momentum offensively before that double play. This is just try to slow the game down a little bit and sees a little bit of that momentum back into that packed dugout.
Heiberger's gotten 5 outs. He has been the one to field and throw over to first on 3. First pitch, a strike, 0-1 to Josh Hogue, who's 0 for 2 with a couple of strikeouts. Inside edge, 0-2.
Think about how Hogue was battling in and out with Serrano at the top of that lineup last year before that season-ending injury. It was so fun to see a guy come back and just look like he's in fine form.
Waves and misses. Heiberger is in prime form. 3 up, 3 down for the Wolfpack. Still a 2-0 lead for the Crimson Tide.
This is the concert ticket, and the t-shirt you bought, and the wristband that the bouncer put on just a little too tight. This is the ride after the concert. To this place, Whataburger, where you ate these hash browns and drank this coffee with these people, your friends. And some guy named Rodney. No matter how your night starts, it should end with breakfast. Open 24/7 with breakfast served 11 p.m. to 11 a.m.
Five-Star Ballpark, home of the Jacksonville Jumbo Shrimp, the AAA affiliates of the Miami Marlins. Our gracious hosts, 2 years running now, second annual Jacksonville College Baseball Classic. See Everbank Stadium in the distance there, home of the Jacksonville Jaguars of the NFL. Who knows what all that's going to be beyond the right field wall. Suites of some kind, I would imagine.
I'm all in. I'm ready to buy my season tickets. I told you, and I do stand on it, that there's no way I don't leave Duval County without a Jumbo Shrimp hat.
Yeah. They've got they announced a new alternate identity just days before we got here, the Honey Drippers. Very colorful apparel associated with that. I was told it's not in their team store yet, in case you were wondering. Uh-oh. Bases loaded.
Does that constitute as a broadcaster's jinx if we go to the in and out? Or the
That's a different variety of a jinx, right?
Right?
Like, old Beeb's got the bases loaded.
Here
First
we go.
pitch we see, Witherspoon scoops it up, and that's the side. Huh.
How cool is it that the brothers get to throw together on the weekend?
Big fans.
Right?
As a twin myself, fan of that.
There. I pandered a little bit with that question.
You did. I'm all about the twin storylines. When the Morris twins got drafted consecutive picks in the NBA draft, loved that. Those are my guys forever, Markieff and Marcus Morris. New arm for NC State, Anderson Nance. So you were bragging on Heath Andrews. He completes his day with 5 innings. Gave up those 2 extra base hits. That's where the runs come from. Really solid otherwise. DeCrisio, smooth from shortstop. Retires Brennan Norton for out number 1.
This is a barrel for the first time this weekend. The San Diego transfer comes in and was like, oh, by the way, I do it with the glove, too. He makes this look a whole lot easier than it actually was.
I don't know if it's intentional with NC State now, that's what they do. That's what they're going to forever do with the shortstop position. Just bring in a defense first guy from somewhere else.
It's hard to call this guy a defense first guy, though.
But, I mean, it's true. I mean, the guy was like platinum glove at San Diego. Good numbers, not great numbers offensively, and they've been great to begin the year.
It is always funny, though, like when you look at a guy like Chris McHugh for them, who only hit .253 in a powerhouse of a conference in the A-10. No bias there. But, like, what the recruiting process, like, what does that look like?
Flair drops in center field, and Cade Snell's got his second hit and 3 plate appearances.
Love going down and get it from Snell. It sinks into that backside. Looks like he guesses wrong, but the barrel's in the zone for so long it doesn't seem to matter. And go back to that point, though, like, not crazy gaudy numbers, but they still go get their guy. The Crazy have good numbers at a really good school in San Diego. They make a regional run, take Oregon down to the last inning, quite literally. But Buttersworth, the year before, when he transferred in from Western Carolina, like, he did not put up very good offensive numbers, but he was, I mean, a legit elite 60-yard runner. And then all of a sudden he shows up in Raleigh and, like, rigs.
Butterworth also transferred. Part of the reason he was not going to be the starting shortstop. Diving grab. Hefner with the glove work from third this time. Holy cow, the stretch from McHugh completes the play, too.
The second web gem of a play flashing the Levner from Hefner. I mean, this is as deep of a throw as you're going to find. Quick back up to the feet, delivers a perfect throw. And this, kind of what we're talking about with that second bag, right? Keep everybody safe. He's directly in the baseline, so it allows you a chance to get the heck out of the way. Win-win everywhere. Well, except for Bama.
Yeah, not for Plattner, because he's the one who hit it when Hefner made the barehanded play earlier. A note of Richie Bonamolo. Breaking ball in for a strike, 1-1. One-two. Bonamolo, a strikeout his last time up. Ooh. Close take.
Set up pitch right. Plattner wants it, but he's setting up a ball and a half off. Nance goes right to the middle of the chest. Let's see if they don't try to backdoor it with that sinker.
Bonamolo fights it off, even though he was out in front. By the way, regarding 2 pitches ago, Wolfpack fans are here.
Yeah.
You heard that. Plenty of them. There's another 2-2. Bonamolo rips it into center for a hit. Snell coming home, scores, and it's 3-0 Bama.
One too many heaters. Bonamolo doesn't miss. Look how quiet the hands stay stacked on the backside. And they just explode. It's like a rubber band, man. The back get flies with the hands, shoots it the other way. Really nice breaking ball in that 2-2 count. Instead of maybe going back, trying to get him out of the front side, Bonamolo makes him pay.
Gets the Tide back up to the top of the order. And Bryce Fowler. First pitch swung on deep to right field. And it's caught at the warning track. Whew, Fowler almost got all of one. But Bama gets another run. They lead by a few. Time for our Jack's Classic Trivia. This time we've got, out of the 4 teams competing in the Jacksonville Classic, who has the most NCAA postseason appearances? You know the choices.
Do we know the record, though? We're officially at our halfway point, Darren. I'm not crying, you are. I'm 3 for 3.
Well, I am too.
Whoa, you haven't given an answer every time, Mr. Academia. Fans at home, play along with us. Go find us on Twitter. I'm going B. It feels like the obvious answer. Sometimes you just got to run the dang ball. I'm going NC State. I feel good about the Wolfpack here. Would you like to play?
Yeah, I'm thinking. I do believe it's one of these two. You know what? I'm just gonna.
Only two.
I don't want to give the answer that you give, so I'm gonna go Bama.
Even though we're both 3 for 3, you're gonna go Bama.
Yeah.
I feel good about it. All right, let's play.
New pitcher for Alabama, Hagen Banks. He's going to see middle of the order. Chris McHugh, Alex Sosa, Braden Fraisman.
Well, the blueprint has been revealed. Heiberger, 2 innings of work, only gave up 1 hit, no runs, the 1K. Does it on 30 pitches, right? Hey, Coach Vaughn is not going to let this leash run long. He understands that the SEC tournament play is just right around the corner. And with a beautiful sunset night here in Duval County, Alabama pitching will turn things over to Hagen Banks.
Second appearance of the season for Banks. He's gone an inning and 2/3 in his first. 2 walks, 2 strikeouts. Cue the foul ball. 0-2 the count. He's 1 for 2 at the plate with a laser of a single his first time up in the second. Can't connect. And that's strike 3. 6th strikeout for NC State batters today.
You dude, no worries. Hagen Banks picking right up where Heiberger and Quick left off. Elevate a fastball. You can kind of tell from this camera angle out in right center field. It's a weird arm angle for Hagen Banks. It comes out of a different tunnel.
He elicits a swing and miss for Alex Sosa.
Looked like, he almost looks like he short arms it. 6'4", 215, the Georgia native. It's very whippy from an almost. It's kind of like he hides it there, like he almost goes to hip to almost short arm from like that 90-degree angle. And man, I'm all in. Hagen Banks, a kid that had season-ending surgery, going to start against Georgia on March 24th last year.
0-2 Sosa pokes it foul.
Inside of 12 months since he had that surgery, man, he's looking frisky at the start of the 25-0.
Again with 2 strikes. One and 2. Top shelf. Sosa leaves it there wisely. Sosa held off, and he's got a full count. Way to work it for the Wolfpack DH. Swung on and missed. Consecutive punch-outs for Banks, and there are 2 away.
Not a huge sweeping slide from Banks, but just enough to get in on the hands. Hagan Banks. Back-to-back punches, man. Look at that arm action. He delivers it right behind the hip, and he is firing away. Man, I would be willing to venture that these NC State hitters are having a tough time picking up that tunnel, man. It's a ton of swing and miss.
There's another miss for Fraisman. Throws the bat head at it, high into the air, shallow right center. Norton out from second. And the side is retired. Stretch time at Jacksonville, 3-0. Bama with the lead in our final game of the day. Jack's Classic Trivia presented by the Cystic Fibrosis Foundation. Out of the 4 teams competing in this event this weekend, who has the most NCAA postseason appearances? Jack DeLongchamp says beat NC State. My guess, just to be different from him, mostly to be different from him, was D, Alabama. What is the answer?
Hey.
NC State.
Hey.
34 postseason bids.
It's a lot of runs, man.
It's a lot. It's a lot. You picked the right.
You were. Hey, let's be honest. You do too. Come on. Right. We were all over it.
You're 4-0.
Hashtag baseball guys.
4 for 4.
We're gonna forget that day 1 dilemma, but I feel pretty confident about my trivia run so far.
Wolfpack struggling to score runs. They're going to try to prevent some more as we're into the bottom of the 7th inning. Hope you're all stretched out. Depending on, where and how you're viewing this. Kyle Peterson told me he had us pulled up on the plane on the way here. Now, unless you're at cruising altitude, don't get up and stretch. You see what I mean? There are situations for which it would not be advisable.
Can we talk about how I'm going to call him El Jefe forever now?
I'm so sorry, KP.
For effort.
I'm sorry, KP.
I'm all in.
That's my bad.
What?
Justin LeBron fouls away the first pitch. 2-3-4 up here for Alabama.
What a cool experience, though, man. With El Jefe himself, to do a 3-man booth was really a treat. Study the craft, man. He's the best in the business. It was awesome.
1-1 to LeBron. Cosign. I mean, he and I did this entire event last year. Pinch me stuff.
Yeah. You pinching yourself with me over here?
Yeah. Obviously.
Yeah.
Obviously.
There you go. I'm pinching myself sitting next to you.
LeBron turns and fouls it. So now 2-2.
Feels like we're still waiting on that pinch me LeBron moment. We had a couple yesterday with the leather going to the arm side, deep in the hole. But with the bat, man, you can tell arms in this tournament are going to spin them. They're going to pitch them backwards. They're going to have to get really creative in the way that they sequence them.
I got frozen up by Nance there. Full count. Breaking ball. Line drive. And it's down for a hit.
What were we saying?
That's his first of the day. 1 for 4.
All's peppered. He's so unique because of his ability to cover all 3 sides of the plate, right? Like that breaking ball down and away, you throw it down there again, he can beat you to right center. You try to backdoor him, start it on the front hit, he'll pull it to left center. They're challenging with a heater, man. This is a really special talent in Tuscaloosa.
First pitch, Coleman by Zell, puts it into right. Base knock. They're at first and second for the tie.
This has just been a good old-fashioned, solid college baseball game. And Alabama offensively, it's like they're just, we made the analogy, hey, run the dang football. They're taking 3 yards. Doesn't it feel like they're just one action play away from beating them deep? And could this be the inning?
That's the old Penn State Joe Paterno line, right? 3 yards and then a cloud of dust.
Mm-hmm.
Haven't seen the cloud of dust.
It's a brewing.
Torres with 2 on. Watches outside 1-0. I'm not going to put the cloud of dust past NC State at this point. Scoreless on the night. Two 2-0 to Torres. I mean, at this current score, it's not out of reach. Now, you gotta keep Bama from plating anymore. Torres lays off. That's strike 1.
They're flirting with danger, inning in and inning out. There's Mizell and LeBron singles, both at 97 miles per hour on the dot. And for Torres, with the 2 early strikeouts, that last at bat, the bat flip, pound to the chest, walk. You can tell he was excited to put together a really quality AB. Now build off of it.
Torres blasts it into the air, center field, head, got a good jump, makes the catch. LeBron up easy at third.
After that first game, though, I'd love if guys just started sliding into third base. I think if Patarini doesn't get deked by Dooley.
Maybe Ohio State goes on to walk that off again. They could have done it. They could have done it with a bunt the very next batter.
You know good dang well they would have tried.
Instead, you leave that tiny bit of daylight for Coastal Carolina, hungry to get the win after dropping their first game here in Jacksonville. So now they're at the corners for Will Hodo. Squirts away. LeBron steps on home plate. And Mizell advances to second. Now it's 4-0.
Opts for the backhand. That slider down and away. Love to see him try to work behind this baseball. He's off that one knee. Tries to extend out. A bit shorter than he anticipated. And LeBron scampers home with ease.
Will Hodo, bona fide hitter, has a hitter's count. Now it's 3-0. Four pitches and a walk for Hodo. They're at first and second now for Brennan Norton.
Yeah, I know KP was talking about it, the idea of him just being a professional hitter. Talked about maybe the most underrated player in this lineup, but Will Hodo, outside of that ground ball double play that, by the way, he hit it 98 miles per hour off the bat, just right at a defender. Feels like every time he digs in, Coach Vaughn and that dugout goes, all right, we're good here. I'm not sure what's going to happen, but I know something positive is going to come of it.
Norton looks at a first pitch for a strike. 1 for 3 with the home run to lead off the 4th inning for the Tide. He did that on a full count after fouling a couple away.
You said it beautifully right before he hit that big mammo home run. Second time he's done that game. He's worked to go down 0-2. Talked about being a savage in the box, fight, work it back to full, take advantage of a mistake.
1-1, another screamer, but right to a guy in left. Fraisman with the catch. So that's 2 away with the runners staying put at first and second.
Dude, this is the 3rd time in 2 days where he takes that sinker down low and away. And that 5-iron shot I dream of on the golf course, he just hit that little low burner. Brendan Norton, man, the forearm's maybe the size of my thighs. That is a big physical kid in the box, allowed out.
Clint Chrysler out to the mound for NC State, their pitching coach. And there's going to be a new arm for NC State. It's going to be Camden Wimbish, talented sophomore, to take the mound for the Wolfpack.
Ran up by the Lux when that's up the highest metric. The city just made it sweet, you could diabetic. They mouths were full of deceit, let these cowards tell it. Walking New Orleans with the etiquette, the LA yelling. Oh man. Second back, but somebody gotta do it. My foot up on the gas, but somebody gotta do it.
Camden Wimbish next to throw for NC State. This is an eye-popping arm for the Wolfpack. Really impressed in the fall and built onto that in the preseason for NC State. An arm for them that you figure, Jack, as the season continues, is going to be more and more relied upon in big spots.
Feels like every guy they bring out of that pen is a sophomore. So he's a part of that stellar class that, you know, the upside is so prevalent, but what about today? And Wimbish at 6'2", 235 looks nothing like an underclassman, making only 5 appearances just last year. It was a loaded class. He was actually the 3rd best catcher in the state of North Carolina coming out of high school. So you can see this is a really athletic dude on the mound.
Oh, lost his footing, never released to the baseball. And a balk called is going to allow both runners to advance, now 2 in scoring position.
That felt like a broadcaster jinx.
You keep saying that. They don't exist.
You know, do you see myself like trying to get out in front of it? You know what I mean? This is the 3rd time I've said it, and it's bad that I know how many times.
I'm not sure what happened to there. Now he gets a pitch in, and it's fouled back by Cade Snell. Wimbish, tough go of it for his first outing of the season. This is his 2nd appearance. First time out, he recorded 1 out, gave up 3 runs, all earned on a couple of hits. Gave up a home run in that. Now he's got 0-2 on Cade Snell. Snell Drives it high up into the air into center. Ty Head is there. And catch is made, but one by one, Bama has stacked up 4 of them. They lead it 4-0. Four to nothing, Bama here in Jacksonville. Bottom left of your screen, a live look in at Round Rock. 4-2. Boomer Sooner on top now by a couple over the Beavs. That feels like that's a pretty good game. If I was not, actively working this one, the bigger one on your screen, I'd probably have them both up. Just saying.
Well, keep the volume up on ours, selfishly.
For sure.
That also feels like a pretty big upset. I think Oklahoma's going to surprise a lot of teams in the SEC. To KP's point about their weekend starting pitching, to have the brothers on Friday and Saturday, Sunday and LSU transfer. But Oregon State has, in my opinion, with what they'll do in the non-con, and obviously being in a unique situation heading into the rest of the season, their RPI is going to be bonkers. As bonkers as that beautiful camera shot from our awesome crew. Take a look at that view. Ominous.
VyStar Veterans Memorial Arena back there, home of the ECHL's Jacksonville Icemen. Really upset that they aren't playing while we're here. Like, if they had a puck drop at, what time? 8 o'clock puck drop would be perfect for us tonight. So we just head over there, catch a minor league hockey game. Next year.
Diet Cokes. Be awesome night.
Yeah. Maybe next year. We'll sync up the schedules with the Icemen admins. First pitch found back. Bottom of the order for NC State here as they are yet to score still. Drew Lanphier, Ty Head, Matt Hevner. Fly ball to left, caught by Snell. That's the first away. Hagen Banks has faced 4 batters. He's retired all 4, punching out the first 2. It scoots out of the way, 1-0.
9 straight Wolfpack that have gone down in order. That Johnny Holstaff mentality, going to a bunch of different guys. Don't let a hitter get comfortable. Seeing the same pitcher twice has paid dividends tonight.
Ripped back to the net, 2-1. Yeah, Riley Quick, we talk about how great he was at the beginning. He only got through the order a time and a half before they replaced him. So obviously, I think to your earlier point, it's part of the strategy.
I do think it's fairly brilliant, like this idea that it's going to take a whole squad, a collective unit. Injuries are going to happen on the mound throughout the season, so how do you keep guys fresh and confident knowing, hey, I've done it and did it in the biggest moments? You throw a ton of guys early on in the season.
Lofted, left center field, and it's down for a hit. Second time Ty Head has reached safely today. That's a freshman that there's a lot of excitement about.
He doesn't play like a freshman, that's for sure. He had that moment, little defensive miscue with he and Nixon, but there's a reason that Coach Avent is playing the teenager. It's because he handles himself with the maturity of a savvy vet. And even just that at-bat right there, like not trying to do too much. Gets the bat head out in front, flares one the other way.
And now a pinch hitter in place of Matt Havner in the 9-hole. Looks like it's Matt Austinford. Runs up inside on Austinford. He takes for a 1-0. This was a big-time recruit. Began his career at Vanderbilt. Check of the swing says he did not come around. 2-0.
No, sir. That's his shoulder.
Great job. Great job by Austinford. Now he's got a favorable count. Swings it to the opposite field and foul up near the berm.
That's a Whataburger foul ball.
Thanks the 2-1. Into the air, shallow center. Bonamolo again running in. Doesn't need to get dirty for that one. Makes the catch.
Is it not ironic, Darren, that going into this Jack's Classic, it felt like Bama was going to bring the boom, as the kids would say. Offensively, the power numbers that they displayed, now granted against maybe a little lesser of an opponent, but it's been the arms that have really wowed the heck out of us so far through 2 days.
I think it goes to show the complete nature of this team.
Yep.
And you and I talked about it off air entering the weekend, that the degree to which we do like this group. Like, LeBron has not been spectacular offensively, but you can win without that. Occasionally. You don't want it all the time that way, but you can.
But in an ideal world, you show you can win games in a multitude of ways. And this conversation, even right now, like, the boys are just laughing out of the mound. Like, this is all a part of the plan, right? Like, everything that's happening, they have prepped for, they have worked for. Hagen Bakes is going to come out of this game after he just got 2 quick outs. Now it's on to the next.
As NC State goes to the top of the order, Alabama will opt for the lefty. Connor Ball, who we saw yesterday, was efficient for the time.
Hi, I'm Bob, or Breakfast on a Bun. I answer to both. My brother, Bob Ranchero. Hey, he's always been the wild one.
Howdy!
We're actually twins. Same signature sausage, fresh egg, and melty cheese. But that picante salsa and pickled jalapenos, it changes you. We're still close. He does call me regular Bob, though, which is a little hurtful.
The University of Alabama Online, where legends log in. A tradition of excellence. Choose from over 100 affordable degree and certificate programs that fit your budget and schedule. Earn the same degree as you would on campus, with the same affordable tuition rate for every state. UA Online. Advance your career and change your life. Get started today at online.ua.edu.
Connor Ball warms up for his second appearance of the weekend. He's going to have the top of the order for NC State. Luke Nixon, the first assignment. Ball came in the late innings against Coastal Carolina for the Tide yesterday. Helped secure that first victory of the Jacks Classic for Alabama. They're trying to go 2-0, and if they finish this off against NC State, they would enter tomorrow's final day of competition as the only 2-0 team left here in Jacksonville.
At this point, if they run the table, hypothetically, they find 4 more outs and go get a dub on Sunday. Who's hoisting that MVP belt? Feels like this could be a collective team pitching belt. I don't know.
Got a long way to go.
Long way to go.
But it was discussed in the press box, I believe, after last night's game or between the two games. Virginia was the winning team. They got the large belt. Auburn's Bobby Pierce won the tournament MVP despite that.
Okay.
Dirt ball goes into the backstop, so the runner head moves to second. So I say that to qualify that it's not necessarily
fair.
A player from the championship team.
If it were to be, going with Kevin Millar.
A.K.A. Brennan Norton.
Feels like a solid pick. The Yahtzee tonight, the 2-run single yesterday.
Yeah. That feels like a safe bet.
Right? So much baseball left to be played. But that's what talking heads are supposed to do. Make people talk.
All for Nixon. Makes it 2 base runners for NC State with 2 away. And here's Justin DeCrisio, who has hit the ball really, really hard in their 2 games. He was rewarded with a 3-run home run yesterday, but he's 0 for 3 today. And maybe that was just a one-and-done lefty-lefty.
We're midseason form, Darren.
Here we go.
Oh, had to come get his lefty. He did. On to the next.
A 3-batter minimum here. We love college baseball. Carson Osmer next to take the mound. We'll step aside. Bama up 4-0.
This is the concert ticket, and the t-shirt you bought, and the wristband that the bouncer put on just a little too tight. This is the ride after the concert. To this place, Whataburger, where you ate these hash browns and drank this coffee with these people, your friends, and some guy named Rodney. No matter how your night starts, it should end with breakfast. Open 24/7 with breakfast served 11 p.m. to 11 a.m.
Ran up out the Lux Vanessa up the highest metric. The city just made it sweet, you could diabetic. They mouths were full of deceit, let these cowards tell it. Walk in New Orleans with the etiquette of LA yelling. Oh man. Second bad, but somebody gotta do it. Got my foot up on the gas, but somebody gotta do it.
Funky little arm slot of a righty. Carson Osmer next on for the Crimson Tide. We'll get Justin DeCrisio. Osmer formerly at Penn, great baseball program in the Ivy League. First and second for NC State. Still scoreless tonight.
About going lefty-righty. Talk about being mid-season form. Osmer paired right after Ball.
Osmer's other appearance prior to this season. This is his second outing. He got the save recording 1 out. He faced 1 batter. Struck that guy out. 1-1 to DeCrisio. Half-hearted, but he came around.
A two-way star at Penn. All honorable mention. But in the SEC, he's going to be doing this to some really talented right-handed hitters. He's going to come in, the stopgap guy.
2 strikes, 2 away. Swipes it across the zone into the opposite batter's box. Now it's 2-2 to the shortstop, who has been NC State's best hitter so far this year. Lights it away.
Kind of talked about like recruiting tendencies earlier, Darren, but it is always fun. Like with the portal, you're only seeing the stories of the 1%. Like Coach Vaughn getting creative and going pulling this guy out of the Ivy League, because this guy's gonna have like 25 plus appearances for the Tide this year.
Ooh. Over to first. Odo had to hurdle the base runner Nixon.
A timing back pick to first base. Baseball stuff.
Smart guy stuff. Ivy League stuff.
Big brain.
Out of the plate, the 2-2. Weak little one hopper to third. And the play made by Torres. Got the close force out in third to retire the side. NC State is still scoreless. The Brainiac gets Bama out of the jam with 2 runners on. Bottom of the 8th coming up here in Jacksonville as we give you a live look in Round Rock. Oklahoma and Oregon State within a couple of runs. Good one going on there. Bama 4, NC State nothing here as the Wolfpack trying to figure themselves out offensively in the young season here. Just 3 hits. Alabama, 4 runs on 8 hits. Headed back to the plate in the bottom of the 8th inning to try to add some insurance runs before they look to close out NC State in the 9th.
This has been without question the cleanest game we've had here on our side of the Jacks Classic. And it has been clinical pitching. Osmer coming in, getting his righty. Crescio, who's had a statistical, I don't want to say nightmare, but it's like when you look at the numbers, the batting average is going to plummet after the last 2 days of work. He hits that monster home run. He has smoked baseballs all day. That when you hit that little jam job down the third base side, you're going, hey, I've earned a couple of these. Not the case. 5 unassisted. Now Bama just 3 outs away, moving to 2-0.
Will Plattner, 8-9-1 due up here for Bama. Camden Wimbish sails it high of the strike zone, 1-0 the count. Plattner 1 for 3 with an RBI double in the second. He has been robbed of a couple others. Balls to third base. Big swing and miss, 1-1. When Matt Hefner was in before he got pinch hit for, he made 2 brilliant plays in the hot corner, coming up and barehanding one, and then a diving stop with a long throw to first. Another big cut and 2 strikes.
Robbed him of his second double here. 1 down the line, big league throw, but the bare hand play may have been my favorite so far the weekend.
Ryan Jaros is over there at third for the Wolfpack, by the way, now. Another one into the backstop after glancing off of the catcher's glove.
Wimbish, big 93 94-mile-per-hour fastball.
The 2-2. Cut on and missed. Strike 3. Wimbish makes quick work of Will Platner.
Unlike some of the other guys we've talked about, this isn't not to say that it's not effortless, but there's a lot of moving pieces in this windup. So as a hitter, like a big leg kick, the arms go out with it. And he as well, just like Anderson Nance, does a good job of hiding the baseball. And 94 just exploding out of that big right arm.
Richie Bonamolo, RBI single. His last time up is 1 for 3.
I like Wimbish's finish as well. I know, Darren, you said that they're really high on him. He's got elite stuff. But he handles himself like a crazy back-end guy. You know what I mean? Like he's got a little bit of that aura. I know they got Duden and Smith back there, but this could be a nice piece to fill in alongside.
It's a lot of swing and miss, too, when it's on. Now 1-1 to Bonamolo. Strike 2, evens it up.
Darts. You mentioned the swing and miss. Put into perspective, Heath Andrews, 9 swing and miss induced, rather quick 7. Wimbish, limited. Outs, already up to 4 swing and miss.
Contacted high in the air, near the line, and out of play into the seats.
That's the one for the double.
So you said 4 swings and misses.
Only a third of the innings that, you know, obviously a guy like Andrews threw earlier in the game.
He's thrown 12 pitches.
I didn't really think about that. That's fairly remarkable.
a third of what he's thrown. 2-2, just misses the mark, and it's a full count to Bonamolo.
He wanted that one. That fastball up to 95, reached in the back pocket, got a little extra juice.
Nicked foul by Bonamolo. He'll hang in there. This guy that's been great defensively out in center field. Up the middle, we've had some peerless defending. Center field, middle infield. Bonamolo swings and misses. Consecutive punch-outs for Wimbish. And there are 2 away.
And between he and Bussey, they've made the difficult look easy all week. There was nothing easy about this at-bat. Each fastball a little bit heavier than the last. Bonamolo geared up. He had it 95 miles per hour. You didn't have the dude back there. He is Wimbish. Darren, you said it. They're really excited about this young man's future. Starting to understand why.
Bryce Fowler, he's been aggressive tonight. First pitch fouled out of play.
Still looking for his first hit of the game, but the last line drive peppered out in the right. 101 off the bat.
Couple of foul balls, and it's 0-2.
Did you
see that. Fowler a look toward Wimbish and a quick nod, like, okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Talking up there, big fella. Play with emotion. Don't get emotional.
And punches it through the right side. That's a difficult 0-2 against a guy like Wimbish, who had just struck out the previous two batters.
Well, I think that foul ball told Wimbish a little something about Fowler all over the fastball a bit. This time, because that breaking ball catches way too much of the plate, and Fowler was waiting for it.
So he gets his first hit. Cue the Paramore. Justin LeBron's back up. That's no coincidence, buddy. That happened twice.
Run it back. For those at home that are listening along and can't see the ear-to-ear grin of Darren Vaught, play-by-play extraordinaire. We've had homers, web gem plays. Nothing has made him as excited as one of the best players in the country. Walking up to a little Paramore, man.
Ain't it fun? Ain't it fun? That misses high. 1-1 to Wimbish.
So for those that are listening, Darren Vaught has made life easy on you. You want to go with seeing what your favorite players around the country are walking up to, go follow this thread. Because we need to put a first team all walk-up list together.
Now 1 ball, 2 strikes. It's almost like you listen to the show. Do you?
Some with it.
ACC baseball, etc. You just walked me right into a shameless plug.
No, shout out free, no shout out. My bad. I had no idea what you were talking about.
On the D1 Baseball Podcast Network, we do a all walk-up or a favorite walk-ups episode every year. That's specifically ACC. We could talk about good walk-ups nationwide here. Runner takes off. What a throw! Goodness. Lanphier gets the runner out at second and retires the side. So Bama no more runs in the bottom of the 8th, but they're up 4. They got to keep NC State from getting 4 to secure the win. Three, 4, 5 batters for NC State. They've been held to only 3 hits this evening in their second game of the Jacks Classic. The Crimson Tide of Alabama looking to remain undefeated on the season, undefeated here at the Jacks Classic. And if they finish this off 3 outs away, they would be the only of the 4 competing teams to enter tomorrow at 2-0. The other 3, 1-1. Or no, excuse me, 2 other 1-1 and an 0-2 squad in NC State. This would be their second loss.
Wolfpack team from a year ago. They had a lot of magic. There was a ton of come from behind victories, walk-off homers at the Doak. This year, some new faces. Looking to find someone ready to rise to the occasions. Appears the Sooners have out in Texas.
Top 5, it looks like. Still 4-2 Sooners on top of the Beavers. It's a live look in at the Round Rock, in case you're curious. Also streaming exclusively on D1 Baseball.
So hang out with us for our last 3.
And pop over there, no doubt.
Yo.
I mean, we'll pull it up. That's what I'm going to do after this.
I'm going to go find some Whataburger. I'm not going to lie to you. There's a careless free shout out as well to a branded fast food joint. That could be an error. We got a 5-2 lead for Oklahoma.
No, it went away. That's all right. We got a job to do. But that should force you to pull it up on your second screen.
Not yet.
Josh Ho, go for 3 strikeouts, but a reliable bat. Very trusted player in this NC State program. Oh. Second batter Carson Osmer has faced. He finished off the 8th. And he finds the strike zone.
It feels insurmountable just because of how dominant Bama pitching has been today, but
it's only 4 runs.
And we had a 3-run 9th inning earlier today to force some extra innings. Let's get weird.
Ball 4 from Osmer. The leadoff man is aboard for NC State.
Now down 4, this is clearly a take-a-strike situation. Nobody moving around in that Alabama pen. This is going to be Osmer's inning to handle. You know, with these submarine guys, sometimes it's difficult coming back out after, getting an inning or two. Like that fresh inning, sometimes tough. They want to learn what they've got. Penn graduate senior.
That was just the 3rd walk drawn by NC State today. 2 in the last 3 batters. Bama has not given them much to work with. Chris McHugh watches. That's strike 1.
Only surrendered those 3 hits, man. And you think about Riley Quick was big time on the punchies list, but outside of that, man, it's just been good old-fashioned pitching.
One ball, 2 strikes to McHugh. The 3 hits scattered as well. 1 in the 2nd, 1 in the 5th, 1 in the 8th. Cut on and missed. 1 away. NC State down to their final 2 outs.
This is what they did so well last night. Hey, we're going to walk in, make a mistake. They don't let those mistakes pile up. How about the response from Osmer going, all right, my bad. A rare leadoff walk for me. Dial back in.
Here's Alex Sosa. 0 for 3 on the night.
I'll tell you this is a very advantageous matchup for Sosa. He hits righties a whole lot better than he does lefties.
Close take, 2-0.
Two-seam fastball seems to run right in his barrel. He loves to get his hands extended. If you're Osmer, you cannot miss on the outer third. Like, you're trying to bury these heaters in on the hands of Sosa.
Sosa looks at a strike. And certainly NC State fans hope you're right. I mean, Sosa could use something to get out of this little funk. He's just hitting 118 with runners on this year. Leaves it. He did not come around. It's 3-1.
Great take. Hit 2-0. A lot of fans are going, what are you looking for? Again, you're taking for a strike. You're down 4. You're trying to draw pitches, trying to find a way to get on. So then 2-1. Sosa hungry for a fastball. Great take on the slider.
No swing again from Sosa. It is 3-2. Torres shifts over to the right side of the infield. Outside, ball 4. Three walks in the last 5 batters for NC State. Prior to that, they had only drawn the 1. Fraisman's in the 2nd inning.
They've thrown at-bats tonight. 8 strikeouts as a staff, which is a respectful number, but it's not mind-numbing, right? Like what we kind of saw last night. And wildly consistent. I just lamented on the fact that, hey, they haven't let their mistakes pile up. Let's see if Osmer start throwing at some barrels early in counts.
1-0 to Braden Frazeman. With that one walk, he's 0 for 2. Line drive. Right to Bonamolo in center.
Just been one of those nights for the Pack. You draw the 2 walks. In my opinion, it's a take a strike. He hasn't seen one yet, but he gets a ball right down Broadway. And that's the conversation you can see as he was greeted with the coaches. It's a big-time barrel just hit right at a defender, but maybe not against necessarily coach's will. Frazeman lines out for the second out of the inning.
Drew Lanphier watches one, miss low, 1-0. Those 2 runners at first and second. Lanphier 1 for 3. Strike taken. It's 2-1. Wolfpack seemed, we saw Sosa do it earlier, 2-0. They've gotten good pitches, and you hate to second guess after the fact. They've taken those in both instances. Big cut and a tip. Lanphier now 2-2.
Let that take for a strike approach. It's like dang if you do, dang if you don't. That's why I think that conversation with Frazeman with their hitting coach was quickly met at the top step. You're buying into the belief that this is the bigger play in the long haul.
Wolfpack down to their final strike. Osner mixing it up a little bit. Throw to second base. Osner the 2-2. Gets into the backstop. Both runners advance. 2 in scoring position for the Wolfpack and a full count to Drew Lanphier.
That was interesting there. Clearly that pickoff attempt just was to reset the pitch clock. Looked like they were having some pitch count troubles. That was the first pitch that Osmer's thrown from over the top. Like he veered up a little bit, came up from the upright, and he spikes it.
3-2. Line drive out to left. Snell the catch, and Alabama goes to 2-0 on the weekend. They enter tomorrow firmly in the driver's seat. 4-0, a dominant victory over number 12 NC State tonight.
Pitching, and more pitching. A win for the Tide, but more importantly, a win for that staff. Not sure if it still reigns true, but a shutout. These pitchers get to take VPs. The back of Quick, Highberger, Bensmall, and Osmer. What a clinical outing. No leash needed. Man, they just knew exactly what they wanted to do. Stuck with the plan, bought to it. The Tide on Sunday 2-0.
Number 12 NC State drops their second in a row in Jacksonville. 3rd overall consecutive loss for the Wolfpack. They will look to bounce back tomorrow against Coastal Carolina. But before that, it'll be Ohio State and Alabama. Those are the 2 games you have to look forward to on our final day of the Jacksonville College Baseball Classic. Stay with us tomorrow as we've got 2 more games here on D1Baseball.com. For Jack DeLongchamp, Peterson with us a bit earlier, the rest of our great crew here in Jack's final score. Bama 4, NC State 0. In the nightcap, day 2 of the Jack's Classic is in the books. Thanks for joining us.